So these videos will make you question everything. So remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's check them out.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did anybody ever ask Siri on your iPhone? Because I'm an iPhone user. I have an iPhone 12. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what y'all got. I got a 13, 14, 15. I'm sitting here, you know, through all this, what's going on in the world. I'm processing, you know, things and discovering things, figuring things out, studying and doing my research. Did anybody ever get their iPhone and think to ask Siri what the population, or we have an Alexa, what the population, or what is the population on another planet? I did. This will happen.
Here's what I found from fandom.com. Mars is the 4th planet from Sol, and the 2nd smallest planet in the Sol system. It has a population of 10 billion humans, and is governed by the Martian Congressional Republic.
But they don't want anybody living out in the boonies. Anybody that's got a couple of acres of land and his own water supply and can grow his own food and that kind of thing, or have some sheep or some chickens, these people are a threat to the collectivist society, because they aren't going to go to the politicians and say, please feed me, please clothe me, please give me shelter. They tend to be independent. That's the secret behind Agenda 21. They want people out of the country. They want corporations out there growing all the food and that kind of thing, but they don't want anybody living out there, because that way they cannot be controlled. In order to control mankind, we have to get them all into the big cities. We have to rack them up and stack them up, get them dependent on the state for their food. But they don't want.
I've been saying this for the longest. I've even been criticizing myself. Because I was like, oh man, I watch all these shows, Leave the World Behind, different things like that. And if something like that happens and I'm forced to live off the land, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do it. And I said, I need to learn that. And then I got to thinking, I was like, man, people who know that type of stuff, they can't be controlled. They're not dependent. Therefore, they don't care. You can't do nothing to them. They know how to go out in the wild and live, man. That is so true, bro. So true.
Knowledge alone will not save you. See, a lot of people that are woke, conscious, or spiritual, they are addicted to knowledge and information. So they're constantly watching videos about, you know, the latest conspiracies. They're reading about chakras and the third eye and all this deep esoteric knowledge. And that's a good thing. It's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like many people overly focus on researching the information instead of embodying the information. Some people don't have to read books or watch videos about spirituality because they embody it. Their energy and spirit is activated in real time, and they might not even know all the conscious information, but their actual life validates the information. Because a lot of dudes will say, you know, they're a god and they're a king, but their life doesn't reflect it. And it's really because they have an imbalance in their chakras. Their upper chakras are overstimulated, but their lower chakras are understimulated. So if you're having money problems, if you're having problems with relationships or girls, or just problems with manifesting in general, a lot of that is lower chakra work. See, a lot of times people get so far out into space and other dimensions that they lose touch with this reality. I don't want to just be a god in my mind. I want to live like one in real.
Watch the whole video if you really want to understand maritime law.
You know, your body is a corporation. By law, your body, your physical body is a corporation. So when you die, you're a corpse, because when you're living, you're a corporation. You are a business. and hanging out with that person is bad business.
Right.
Or who I hang out with is none of your business. Words and terms are based on maritime admiralty, the law of water. That's why when you go into a court, you have a gate, the people sit out here, and the judge sits inside. The gate is called a floodgate. When you go through the canal, you have a floodgate. So when you're sitting out here, you're in the law of the land. The judge has no control or no jurisdiction over the people sitting out here. No jurisdiction whatsoever. But
outside the gate.
That's outside the gate. That's on land. But when you walk past that gate, now you're in hot water, and someone's going to have to bail you out. The law of water, maritime admiralty, it's an extraordinary story about how governments rule the world. And unless you understand this, you're never going to figure out what's going on. When you walk into a courtroom and they call your name, you get up and you put your hand on the gate, and you open the gate. The moment you put your hand on the gate, by international law, you of your own volition have opened yourself up to maritime admiralty law, because you were on the law of the land. As long as you don't touch that gate and go through it, you haven't opened the floodgate. Now once you open the floodgate, there's a piece of wood on top of that gate, and it's called the bar, and you're not licensed to pass the bar. So what you've done is you've opened the floodgate, but you weren't licensed to pass the bar. You're considered to be a dead man. That's why the attorney has to speak for you. He has to represent
Why
you.
are you dead?
Because you went into the deep water and you died. You drowned. You were not licensed to pass the bar. And the bar represents a sandbar in the ocean. But the bar is what the attorneys are licensed to pass, but you're not. So the point being is that when you open that gate of your own volition, you are considered by law to be a dead man.
Really?
That's why you cannot talk to the judge, because dead people don't talk to judges. So you will need an attorney who is your mouthpiece. He speaks for you because you're dead.
Well, should we do away with courts so people can get their lives back?
I would think that what you want to do is understand how the system works.
And avoid it.
And avoid it if you can.
The truth is hidden in plain sight.
There's a lot to
They
digest.
hide everything.
It's a lot to digest, but it made so much sense. And that's scary to me. That made a lot of sense. And it also told me that I have a lot to learn when it comes to the law. The little surface stuff that I think I know is clearly not enough. And even if this is not even true what he's saying, it still makes me think I need to learn more about the law, bro. Because there's some things that we don't know that could probably save us in certain situations.
Now, the powers that be don't want you to use it, and thus we've all heard of calcification. You can decalcify your pineal gland. It's been calcified predominantly by fluoride. Fluoride added to your water supposedly just to stop us getting cavities. It's strange how it calcifies the most important possible gland for us to have any form of spirituality, and here we are at a time where many people think they're just bags of skin without any spirit, soul, or connection to a higher being, because their pineal is calcified and they can't feel it. It's atrophied by that which has been put into our water and poisoned through processed foods, processed waters using fluoride, and also the media which we take in, such as television, which ultimately shuts it down all it wants to, because you surrender to a false light instead of to the natural light, which is where the photons can come to you. If you stay at a false light all the time, you're not going to get those photons. The pineal gland is a very important thing. Christianity spoke about it, Hindu faith speaks about it, Buddhism speaks about it, all faiths across the planet spoke about it, all ancient religions have the pinecone symbology. You must eat right, you must go into the dark to see the great light, and you must understand that this tool in the center of your brain is where you will find out how you can live your highest good. Do as was told by great teachers such as Jesus Christ, and let thy eye be single, so your whole body will fill with light. And then you will meet God face to face as Jacob did in the place they call Pineal.
The hidden truth about astrology. Despite what you were told about astrology being a pseudoscience, astrology is truly the mechanics of consciousness, the study of the planetary alignment and how it affects life on Earth. When you were growing up, someone must have told you you were one astrology sign. That couldn't have been any further from the truth. Truly, you're an entire solar system with multiple planets, comets, and asteroids. In order to understand the validity of astrology, you must understand the ancient Hermetic principle, as above, so below, or correspondence. As above, so below, so within, so without. Reality is a mere reflection of your own mind. It is through this law that we understand what's going on astrologically is also going on biologically. Your astrological natal chart or your true horoscope is your genome. Make sure y'all follow for more. Reflected light from the Most High, Chief, Three God. Peace to the gods. Aloha.
I want to know how you, as a woman, feel about overpopulation in the world and its relation to polluting the environment.
How does Yoko feel about overpopulation? As a woman, I believe.
Well, I think the problem is not overpopulation as people believe it to be, but it's more of the balance of things. What, like food, some part of the world there's wastage of food, and in some parts, nobody has food. That kind of a balance, if that is solved, I don't think we would be worried so much about overpopulation.
I think it's a bit of a joke the way people have made this overpopulation thing into a kind of myth. I don't really believe it, I think whatever happens will balance itself out and work itself out. And it's all right for us all living saying, oh, well, there's enough of us, so we won't have any more. Don't let anybody else live. I don't believe in that. I think we've got enough food and money to feed everybody. And I think the natural balance, even though old people will last longer, I'm sure there's enough room for us, and some of them can go to the moon anyway.
You mean you think there's enough if it were
I don't believe overpopulation, I think that's just a kind of myth that the government has thrown out to keep your mind off Vietnam and Ireland and all the important subjects.
Oh, I think you're wrong about that.
Oh, I don't care.
Beat it.
Was that Lenin? I think that was Lenin, right? Now the question is, does that still reign true today? Because, the overpopulation discussion still continues on today. And the different things that they do to other countries, how they manipulate them when they need help, and they put certain things in place to prevent, or quote unquote, try to prevent overpopulation.
Okay, teach me about the sixth dimension. Bro, are you sure your mind can handle this? Bro, do I look like a child to you? Okay, let's go. A person living in the sixth dimension has all the abilities of those in the fifth, like control over time and being omnipresent. But remember how I said parallel universes exist in the fifth, but you can't access them? Yeah. In the sixth dimension, a person can see all past, presents, and futures of all parallel timelines. It's like Rick on acid, bro. That means if I wanted to meet any version of myself that ever lived in this universe, including those in parallel universes, I could. Exactly. But even in the sixth, there's still limitations to your perception. Still? What limitations could there possibly be? Am I not a god at this point? It's just that all the parallel universes that you can perceive has to have the same initial conditions, aka the Big Bang. Remember, we still haven't even touched on the multiverse yet. Jesus. Okay, J. Kaizen, 7D next. Your curiosity has no limit, huh? Okay, teach me.
So is it possible? Could it be possible? Because you have to question it with, I guess, your consciousness. I don't know. It seems like when you dream, it feels like you go off into a different dimension. Also, could that be the sixth dimension be time travel?
Believe in Jesus or done the whole church thing. But I think I've seen the stuff you guys are talking about here. I just didn't know what it was at the time. I was in the Army from 1997 to 2000. And I was sent to McMurdo Station in Antarctica. I was a helicopter mechanic and crew chief, and they had volunteer tours open for guys to go there and work on the helicopters there. When they asked for volunteers, a bunch of us applied, but only me and one other guy got accepted. The application process had a bunch of questionnaires that we had to fill out, and we had to sit for a bunch of one-on-one interviews. It was mostly just a bunch of questions about what our interests and beliefs were. I was sent to McMurdo Research Station in August of 1998. When we weren't busy de-icing the aircraft and working on them, we had time to hang out with the scientists at the research station. The military unit attached to McMurdo was small, and we didn't have our own separate facilities. We didn't have a PX or a media center. There was no chapel or chaplain, and we didn't have our own separate mailroom. We just had to share the same facilities with the scientists and researchers. So over time I got to be friends with a few of them. They had two different kinds of ice that they worked on and studied. One kind of ice was the normal kind that we've all seen. They took cores of it out of boreholes in the ground. Just like normal ice, it was mostly clear or sometimes white, and it would melt into liquid water if it got warm. The whole area of Antarctica is covered in this kind of ice. But that wasn't their main kind of ice. The only time I ever saw them actually studying normal ice was when a film crew from National Geographic came by. The rest of the time, which was most of the time, the scientists were studying something they called sky ice. This stuff was totally different. We were never allowed to go into the laboratory areas of the station because the labs had to be kept super clean, and they said it would mess up their work if they risked letting too many people in the lab. But one time, one of the researchers that I was friends with showed me a piece of sky ice. You couldn't touch the stuff with your bare hands because it was so cold. And it wasn't clear or white like normal ice. It was solid blue. He said that's why they call it sky ice, because it was the exact same color as the sky. We had to wear thick, heavy, going outside gloves to handle it. Believed in Jesus or done the whole church.
So that makes me question things now. Is global warming a thing? Because this ice sounds like it's the kind that doesn't melt. So could this all be just some form of control? Because this, to be honest, we've talked about global warming for a long time. We've been talking about it for ages. Could it be they leading us on it for some reason? And this actual sky ice would be proof that it's never gonna happen?
We must become alchemists once again. Everything in this universe that appears to be bad or troublesome or is giving you a hard time is the universe trying to show you that you're God. A true ascended master is going to understand that a bad situation is just an opportunity for something way greater. You have to be able to see the good in the bad. You have to be able to use all of the bad and make something good. That's what the elite do. They take something that was bad or horrible and make it into something amazing. We all know diamonds are made under pressure. It's how you respond, it's how you deal with your adversity that's gonna make you. Make sure y'all share this message to somebody who you think needs it. Reflected light from the Most High Chief Babaji. Peace to the gods. I love myself.
Oh yeah, part 2 for all you placebo folks. So now that we know that crystals are technology and you can't use technology without having crystals, what do you think your body's made out of? Technology. Hey Google, what do crystals do to humans? Hey Google, what do crystals do for humans? Crystals promote physical, emotional, and spiritual healing, positively interacting with your body's energy field or chakra. With some crystals are said to alleviate stress or improve concentration or creativity. Check this out. You already have all of these minerals inside your body. So when you put on a crystal, all it does is amplify what your body already does. It's like you're Batman and these are your tools. Or Superwoman and these are your tools. Check all the colors. Every single one of these colors align with your energy field. So yeah, family, it's all connected with you and it's not. Check my website.
I want y'all to watch this video and think about the processed foods and the foods you buy from the grocery store that you put in your cabinet.
Bruh, eyes is red as I don't know what. Bro needs some sleep. He need to sleep for a week.
Vegetable oils belong in the engines of cars, not in your food.
These are not real food products. These are products made in factories. These are products that require heat and chemicals and high pressure to extract what little oil there is.
The heat and chemicals used in the manufacturing process oxidizes these delicate seed oils. When you eat oxidized vegetable oils like soy, canola, corn, and safflower or sunflower, they create free radicals throughout your body that are highly inflammatory and known to cause heart disease and cancer. Why are we always trying to eat more antioxidants? To combat free radicals like the ones found in refined vegetable oils.
And then they're used by restaurants in the most carcinogenic way possible. They heat them.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all, the best and most healthiest oils to get is the avocado oil, because it has a high smoke point of 500 Fahrenheit that make it less carcinogenic. And you want to get the best and one of the most natural oils is coconut oil. Use this for your cooking. It's way more healthier for you. You will reap benefits. Look it up and do your research.
Bruh, eyes is worrying me, man. He's worrying me. But anyway, like he's saying, I need to look into that, man, especially with the cooking oils and stuff, and stop using the oils that I've been using, which are horrible probably for my body and everything like that. But that all comes with getting better each day. You can't blame yourself for the information that you didn't have. You can't blame yourself for sometimes not even being able to afford the good food. The cheap stuff that we can afford to buy is never healthy for us. It's not. They know that. So we just have to try to do better and strive to do better each day, bro. Don't try to condemn yourself for what you've done in the past. Just try to do better in the future.
Definition, a processed food is a bowel movement. So this is nothing but a bowel movement. If you look at this potato, this used to be a potato, now it's a potato chip. These literally act like digestive systems. These are food processing companies, but everything inside of this company, each of these individual food processors and machines act like a different mechanism or a different organ inside of your body. This act like a liver because it extracts and it changes the molecular structure of the food. This right here act as the stomach because it have acids or it heats up the food to isolate the chemistry. This one right here acts like the molar or your teeth because this is part of the food processor that actually breaks down the food and grind it up to a pulp. So everything that we looking at inside of these food industries are actually replicating our digestive system. This act as the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. This what ferments your food. My stomach's supposed to ferment my food. The bacteria, the microbiome inside of my stomach supposed to ferment my food.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button below.
Definition.
Get this transmission
Watch to
out
the end to see what I got to say.
The only way you're going to win the fight against the heat and the sun is if you stay your in the house. That's the only way. Come out when that gone. That's the only way. But other than that, you is not going to win. I'm going to tell you why though. It's a reason you ain't going to win. It's a reason you're going to faint. It's a reason you're going to have a heat stroke. It's going to be a reason you're going to collapse. It's a reason for all that. It ain't just happening because the sun out and is hot. It's happening because you have too many toxic metals inside of your avatar. And you cannot take the potency of the photon light that is coming from the sun. Okay?
This is why I be on people about the food they eat, because I care. Because if you constantly eating high toxic processed food, when you go outside, of course you're gonna be high because your body in a state of inflammation, constantly trying to repair itself from all of these bad toxins. That's why you gotta eat your fruit and make sure you drink your water. Get your fruit juice, stay hydrated, stay alkaline, high diet.
Get this transmission out to you.
So my question is, does the sun give you energy or not? Because I've always heard of people saying the sun gives you energy. The sun gives you energy. That's why they like to stay in the sun.
Vinegar is bad for you because your body already makes vinegar. This vinegar is called alcohol. That's what the fermentation process is for. Notice in order to cook wine, in order to make wine, you have to ferment the wine. You see that? Your body already do these things. You go through a digestive process called irrigation fermentation. Y'all think I'm lying? Look this stuff up. So you already make vinegar. You already make alcohol. You already make DMT. You already make THC. You make all of these things. The chemical constituents that the mushrooms give you make it between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Everything that you need is already within you. And that's why we have an addictive personality. Notice what we are addicted to. We're addicted to what our bodies already naturally make. We're addicted to alcohol. We're addicted to sugar. You are the most sugar content being on planet Earth. Carbon is sugar. Melanin is sugar. You are made of these fructose and these glucoses and these galactoses. That's why you're addicted to the sugar. What they do is they process it. Everything that your body's supposed to do to the foods, what they done figured out is if they do it before you get it, you would never have the substance, but you would get pieces of it, so it wants you wanting more. So like for instance, they'll take sugar and then they will bleach it. They'll take all of the melatonin out of the sugar. Then once they bleach it, they'll heat the sugar up and then they'll break it down again and give it to you. Well, that's the same thing that happens when you eat sugar. You take all of the carbon constituents out of it. This carbon constituents then turn to water. Then you fire off that water as fuel called adenosine triphosphate. So they do it before you get it. Then you get it and you get the stimulation from it, but you never get the yielding energy from it. And this thing's turn very, very gnarly chemistry in the body and becomes acidic. Now when your body becomes acidic, it gives on a mucosal membrane response. Now you got mucus everywhere. Vinegar is bad for you because your body.
He just blew my mind with that. And just because I'm saying he blew my mind doesn't mean it's true or not. I think some people be taking it as I'm stamping it as approval, saying this is true. No, you have to do your own research and follow into it. But if this doesn't open your mind up to make you say, whoa, maybe that is why I'm addicted to sugar. You know what I mean? Why I'm addicted to certain things. That's what it's there for, to open you up. And then that in turn should make you want to go do the research. And that just made me want to do the research about certain things. But where do you find this type of information at? It's not going to be in the normal place which we would look to get our information. I have to find out where he got that information from.
Processed foods you need to eat less of. Bacon, which can lead to high blood pressure. Cereal bars, which carry too much sugar. Ketchup, there's so much sugar, you might as well sprinkle your chips with sugar next time. Just stop eating instant ramen. Any sort of frozen meal, they carry too much sodium.
I need to teach people a lesson because people are always talking when I post my grocery hauls saying, oh, that's still a lot of processed food. Sure, this is still processed, but it has 2 ingredients, cashews and dates. Now let's look at something like these kind bars. People think these are healthy. Well, These are what you call ultra processed. Ton of ingredients, sugar, vegetable oils, flavors, synthetic vitamins. See what I mean? And this is ultra processed. So it has even more ingredients. So yeah, this is processed, but it's a lot better than this, Karen, okay? I need to teach people a lesson.
Bro, I used to mess up some fig Newtons, bro. What? Just used to swear to myself that I was eating healthy out here in these streets, man. Fig Newton, I'm eating healthy. Should have known, man. And I'm to the point to where now anything that tastes good, I'm scared of. I'm saying, don't mean I'm not going to continue to eat it. I'm just telling you I'm scared of it because I'm under the assumption now that things that taste good just aren't good for you.
I'm back. We need to be building our own gardens, buying land to create our own farms, harvesting our own crops, and raising our own animals. And I will tell you why. The food that you're eating is not real. The food that you're eating is not good for you. The food that you're eating is very low in vibrations. The food that we eat is one of the main reasons why we harbor so much negativity within our souls. We eat meat that comes from slaughterhouses. We eat fruits and vegetables that are full of GMOs. And let me tell you what the problem with that is. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, right? So when they go take cows, take pigs, take them to slaughterhouses, knowing these animals are scared, they still continue to kill them. That energy still lies within that meat that is dead. It's now dead negative energy. While eating meat that comes from slaughterhouses, now we have consumed their sadness, we've consumed their terror, we've consumed anything, any negative energy or thoughts that were going on in their head while they were being killed. Now let me get on them GMOs. If a crop, a plant, a fruit, a vegetable, whatever it is, isn't growing correctly, you do not inject it with chemicals to make it grow faster, bigger, or whatever the case may be. The proper thing to do when a plant isn't growing correctly is to adjust whatever factors are affecting its growth. That can include the type of soil, what's in the soil, water intake, how much sunlight, everything. But you do not go injecting it with chemicals to make it better. GMOs are equivalent to steroids for us. If you get caught taking steroids, what happens? Okay. They inject all of the food we eat with chemicals. Everything we eat is processed, and you wonder why you're feeling so sick. You wonder why all of these health issues arise. It's planned. They want you to get sick. They want you to rely on their medication. It's a cycle, and you guys don't see it. We have disrupted the natural flow of life. We have taken from animals. We've taken them from their natural habitats. We've destroyed their natural habitats, not realizing that this is a circle of life. We all need each other. Whether it be good, whether it be bad, even the bad still keeps a balance within the world. But that's something for y'all to think about. Change your diet. Start moving better. I live in Boston. I hate the food here. I cannot even stomach it. When I took a vacation to Puerto Rico, I was eating 8 times plus a day with snacks included because their food over there, they grow it. They have animals. They have their own land. They have their own farm. Everything is naturally grown. You can tell when there's something put in your food. Your body never lies to you. Always trust your body.